Thank you. Gracias.
All right, we have head coach Jonathan Giraldez. We will start in the room with questions in Spanish before we move over to English. Albert, go ahead.
Profe, felicidades, es Giovanni Elfa con Telemundo. Te quería hablar, a veces los equipos se identifican, ¿no?, por el estilo de juego, el ADN Barça, muy conocido, y ese estilo. ¿Cuál es el ADN de este equipo que parece que es lo cotidiano, lo normal, meter gol al último momento, ganar en tiempo extra, en penales? O sea, ¿cuál es esa cuestión de de sufrir un poco pero salir ganando?
Buenas tardes. No lo sé. A mí me gusta siempre analizar las cosas en su contexto. El contexto de hoy es que hemos creado muchas más ocasiones que nuestro rival y creo que eso es lo más importante. Creo que aquí hemos hablado muchas veces de la reacción. Cuando los momentos son buenos, que todo es mucho más fácil, pero los momentos donde están en contra, aquí es donde realmente tienes que dar tu mejor versión. Es algo lo que llevamos mucho tiempo trabajando. Por suerte o por desgracia lo hemos vivido mucho en los últimos partidos, pero bueno, el equipo hasta el último minuto se mantiene vivo. Se mantiene fiel a lo que habíamos decidido que era lo mejor para poder ganar hoy a Gotham. Pero insisto, me gusta analizar las cosas en su contexto, analizar el partido que hemos hecho, donde creo que hemos sido muy superiores a Gotham.
¿Y cómo va ese balance de haber ganado hoy, disfrutarlo porque se lo merecen, pero también pensar en lo que le falta, que es el partido más importante de todos?
Sí, por supuesto. Ahora mismo, obviamente, lo que tienes que hacer es celebrar. Clasificarse para una final, solo hay 2 equipos que lo consiguen. Entonces, tienes que poner las cosas en su contexto, saber de dónde veníamos, saber contra quién jugábamos. Con todo el contexto, aún así, hemos sido superiores y tenemos que saborear de esta victoria. Y después, por supuesto, en un par de días, pues preparar esa final.
Hola, Jona. Enhorabona per la classificació.
Gràcies.
Suposo que t'alegrarà saber també que el Barça ha guanyat 0-4 al Di Stéfano.
Qui ha marcat l'últim?
Alexia.
Alexia.
Mira, recogiendo un poco el guante del compañero,
crec que portava aquest quan vam jugar allà a Montjuïc, portava aquest el mismo jersei.
El mismo?
Sí, de l'any passat. Doncs mira.
Bona dada. Potser te l'has de posar dissabte que ve.
No sé, ya veurem.
Os habéis abonado un poco al sufrimiento, ¿no?, en este playoff. O sea, la semana pasada decías que no querías llegar a prórroga y en el partido de hoy prórroga y además penaltis. Bueno, ¿cómo gestionáis un poco pues, este sufrimiento de tener que llegar al minuto 93 y me imagino que es muy difícil de controlar, pero ¿cómo vas a intentar que la final no llegue a la prórroga?
Bueno, yo creo que lo más importante es la victoria, ganar, y de la manera que lo hemos hecho creo que nos vuelve a reforzar una vez más. Obviamente, si puedo escoger no sufrir tanto, pues mucho mejor, pero evidentemente por el partido que hemos hecho yo creo que hemos merecido marcar algún gol durante el partido. Insisto, creo lo que he dicho ahora, creo que hemos generado muchas más ocasiones que nuestro rival y ha tenido que venir así otra vez a la épica, ¿no?, en esos últimos minutos con un gol de cabeza. Queríamos otra vez intentar marcar un gol antes de irnos a la prórroga, pero bueno, no ha sido posible porque bueno, también sabemos que delante tenemos un gran equipo. Partido de hoy contra Gotham, si tú analizas todas sus jugadoras, tienen un equipazo, ¿no?, y las que entran desde el banquillo también. Entonces, bueno, creo que las cosas se tienen que analizar en su contexto. El escenario ideal nunca existe y sabemos que en esta liga ya la regular season es súper complicado ganar todos los partidos, imagínate unos playoffs. Sabíamos que tendríamos que estar enteras mentalmente a nuestro 100%, no decaer nunca, insistir, y bueno, hoy lo hemos hecho, hemos remontado otra vez y estoy muy orgulloso.
Y luego a nivel personal tuyo, hace 6 meses ganaste la final de la Champions. ¿Es una sensación parecida, digamos, haber clasificado para la final? No digo ganarla, sino la clasificación para la final.
Sí, al final cuando estás peleando por títulos son momentos de celebración, de éxtasis y bueno, sobre todo cuando se producen así, ¿no? Recuerdo en aquella semifinal contra el Chelsea que perdimos el partido de ida, ganamos 0-2 la vuelta. Bueno, fue una celebración muy importante a nivel personal porque no habíamos hecho un buen partido en la ida y creo que fuimos muy superiores en la vuelta y bueno, es esos momentos, ¿no?, los que tienes que pues expresar tus emociones y bueno, creo que hoy también por cómo se ha dado el partido y ganando de la manera que hemos ganado en los penaltis, con remontada, con gol en los últimos minutos, pues creo que habla muy bien bueno, a nivel personal, pues las cosas que estoy pudiendo conseguir, pero no me gustaría conformarme. Hay que disfrutar de esta victoria, pero por supuesto que tengo muchísimas ganas de ganar el partido la semana que viene.
Buenas tardes, coach. Quiero hablar un poco sobre el partido en general. El partido, pues, por momentos Washington Spirit lo dominó, Gotham también, pero hubo por momentos un pequeño quizás problema quizás con el pase en el mediocampo. Por momentos quizás el equipo no se vio bien en la posesión. O sea, ¿cómo quizás eso afectó el partido para que se fuera a la larga?
Bueno, es el mejor o uno de los mejores equipos en presión en campo contrario, por cómo defienden, por lo activas que son, por lo intensas que son. Sabíamos que no iba a ser un partido plácido ni cómodo en la construcción del juego, pero aún así hemos tenido mucha personalidad, hemos tenido más posesión que ellas en todo el partido. Obviamente hemos tenido algún error porque forma parte del juego, pero también hemos estado muy bien a nivel defensivo. Creo que hoy el trabajo defensivo que hemos hecho en presión alta ha sido por ratos, por momentos excelente y bueno, las cosas se tienen que analizar siempre para mí en su contexto y el contexto nos dice que a nivel ofensivo hemos creado cerca de 30 disparos a portería, es una barbaridad. Obviamente con 30 minutos el alargue pues hace que tengas alguna ocasión más, pero hemos doblado en ocasiones a Gotham y eso creo que hay muy poquitos equipos que lo pueden decir ahora mismo. Y a su vez pues el trabajo defensivo, por cómo hemos defendido, cómo hemos estado, cómo nos hemos mantenido, creo que en general hemos hecho un muy buen partido.
¿Cuál tú crees que fue la clave para terminar el partido en penales? ¿En la práctica practicaron los penales, que era una posibilidad?
Sí, ya la semana pasada, llevamos varias semanas entrenando los penaltis, incluso el staff nos ha estado ayudando colocándose detrás de la portería un poco para generar esa sensación, ¿no?, de estrés, que obviamente no es comparable con la que generas después del día de partido, pero te diría que hemos hecho sinceramente un trabajo impecable de preparación de los penaltis. Muchas veces se asocia a la suerte, pero Aubrey es una profesional, Aubrey cada día se queda siempre al final del entreno trabajando faltas, penaltis, envíos largos de puerta, vigilancias. Es una profesional. Lo que he visto en ella en estos últimos meses ha sido una barbaridad y estoy muy contento en especial por ella, porque bueno, no ha sido un partido cómodo a nivel ofensivo por cómo ellas defendían, pero creo que bueno, ha demostrado lo gran portera que es y por la manera en la que se prepara los partidos, creo que ha hecho una exhibición en los penaltis.
¿Cuál fue la clave para ganar el partido?
Felicitaciones,
Gracias.
Jonathan Giraldez. Llegaste a las semifinales. Esto es impresionante para toda la gente aquí en Washington. Y uno de los momentos que me gustaría que recordaras es cuando hizo de cabeza el gol Hall Hersfeld y Adrián González. Hubo un momento ahí como de emoción que te jaló para un lado, para el otro. Cuéntanos un poco cómo fue esa emoción de todo lo que ocurrió en ese momento.
Bueno, es un momento de alegría porque empatas el partido en un momento muy importante, un momento delicado. Y bueno, los dos somos personas, considero que somos personas muy emocionales y evidentemente cuando marcas un gol lo tienes que celebrar. Pero bueno, a los 5 o 10 segundos ya estaba bueno, un poco pensando qué debíamos hacer, si debíamos cambiar alguna cosa, intentar rebajar. Tienes que expresar tus emociones, pero rápidamente volver, ¿no? Ser terrenal, pensar de manera fría, intentar anticipar lo que puede pasar, porque es un momento delicado donde cualquier segundo gol pues, puede decantar la balanza a un equipo a otro y bueno, en general pues muy contentos también por la celebración, por como Sadri, por el trabajo que también ha hecho aquí desde el principio. Creo que es una victoria que nos refuerza mucho.
Y una de las cosas del gol que hizo Esther González, ¿ustedes ya se habían preparado para tener una rival como ella?
Sí, es una jugadora muy completa, le gusta jugar mucho entre líneas, tiene una gran calidad en juego de espaldas, pero luego tiene también muy buena amenaza en profundidad, ataca muy bien los intervalos, tiene muy buen timing. Y otra de las cosas que comentamos evidentemente antes del partido, las zonas de remate, las zonas de influencia donde a ella le gusta moverse, sobre ese punto de penalti, pues nos ha hecho un gol de una manera que sabíamos que probablemente lo podía hacer. Es una gran jugadora, creo que lo demostró en el Levante, fue Pichichi un año, lo demostró también en el Real Madrid y lo sigue demostrando aquí en Gotham.
¿Qué te pareció cómo manejó la pelota el día de hoy Lacey Santos?
Bien, ha estado bien. Primera titularidad desde hace tiempo. Era bueno, un trabajo bastante específico el que tenía ella a nivel ofensivo para recibir en cuadrado y generar algún 2 contra 1 contra Freeman en la posición ahí de lateral, aunque luego la cambiaron en segunda parte. Y luego bueno, intentar encontrarla algo más en el sector izquierdo cuando íbamos por debajo del marcador con McKenna, ocupar los 2 cuadrados y que a partir de ahí pudiésemos tener algo más de llegada. Y luego ya creo que estaba muy tiesa, estaba ya cansada, evidentemente, por el poco ritmo que tiene competición en las últimas semanas. Creo que ha tenido un buen estímulo, ha jugado no sé si 75, 80 minutos y en general ha hecho un muy buen partido.
And we'll come over to Jason.
Jonah, thanks for speaking with us. Congrats on going through, getting to a final. Wanted to first start on, I know you just talked about Aubrey. My Spanish isn't quite good enough to keep up. Maybe talk us through your thoughts on her, not just today, but in general, her importance to the club.
I didn't know that you could speak Spanish or understand. Can you understand a little bit or not? A little bit, okay. Un poquito. Yeah, she's brilliant. Not because of penalties, it's because she's a professional. In the way that she faces the training session every day is crazy. I have never seen that before. And she's a professional, always in the end of the training stay there and put in practice all the situations in the game. Sometimes I speak with Adria about, wow, you know, what a keeper in terms of professionalism. She deserves it because I know how she works. I know how she prepares the games, and we anticipate this type of penalties. She knew, and with Mike Bristol also, they did an amazing job today. I am very proud because when you are working behind the scenes and you cannot see, right, what is happening, and we only can analyze what's happening in the game, but I know what she's doing every day. So I want to emphasize that because in the end, everything worth. When you are a hard worker, when you are working so many hours, when you are preparing yourself in the best possible way, what she got today is amazing. I don't know if that happened before, but she saved the 3 penalties that the other team shot. So that's, you know, she deserved it. All the situation, all the words from my side is thank you, because she did an amazing work. Not only today, also during the rest of the season.
The game was complicated at times. The first 10 minutes, a lot of pressure, and then also once they get the lead, obviously that's a different kind of complication. Whether it was tactical or emotional or something else, what had to change in those moments to take control of that?
We adjust much better, especially on the right side. We wanted to jump in the first line with Trin and Paige, and I didn't know why Paige was not jumping on that moment. You know, sometimes, you know, you have a player behind of you, and you can decide, but in the beginning of the game, you have to make sure that you have to do exactly what we are demanding for the game. In the moment that we adjust those jumps, we were defending much better. We regained more ball possession in the other half pitch, and we start to create chances. In the moment that 1-2 players are not doing their job, is when you can feel that you are not regaining the ball possession in the other half pitch. And after that, they had to modify. They were trying to find stairs, especially this long pass from Berger, but also we did a good job also there. In the second half, they tried to do other things, and we were adjusting very, very well. Out of possession, in general, I think we did a almost perfect game because we knew that we are playing against the best. We were playing against the best roster in the league. They have brilliant players in build-up, out of possession too, and we had to do almost a perfect game to beat them today.
Come back to Jake and then over to Mario.
Coach, congratulations. Just the immediate reaction and response to the fan base when Aubrey makes the final save. Just what was that moment like for you after you saw the save happen and just you guys taking the lap and celebrating with the fan base?
Yeah, the same question, yeah? The last week you asked me again about fan base. And again, I have to say thank you because after the last game we got an important sold out. That's brilliant, all the impact that supporters are having here and in the way that we played today and the energy that they gave us during the whole game. It was amazing again because what I told you guys the last week, when you are winning, that's very easy to enjoy and have a good day, you know. But in the mad moments, they were pushing us and giving us the energy that we needed for the last minutes. So I am very proud for the players for sure, because they were consistent in the performance until the last minute, but also because we have an amazing supporters. We had not that in the beginning of the season, and right now what we are creating here in DC is crazy. You know, when you can spread your emotions and share your feelings with all of them, you can win games and titles, but when you can share all of that with the people of my experience, that is an amazing experience. And I am very happy because it's a big victory today for the players, for the staff, but also at the same time because we have an amazing supporters.
I know this whole season I've heard a lot of the players, you included, talk about Michelle's vision of this team. One of the reasons to bring you in was to, get back to trying to win championships and getting back into the playoffs. The job's not finished, but to be back in a final and to be where you guys are right now, personally, how does that feel?
I don't know. As a person, as a professional, I love the feeling when we win. If I came here personally because we wanted to do important things, it's just not improve my English. I know that I am trying to try to give my best every day. But I wanted to create important things around soccer in other country with other club. Maybe nobody thought that this season, the first season, with the changes that we have with rookies, with injuries, no way to get it. But I think that all what we are doing behind the scenes with the staff, with the players, with the Michel's vision, everything that we are doing is a great job. I think if we are here, it's because we deserve it. Nobody gave us anything. We deserve win the last week. We deserve it today because we create more chances than Gotham. But as you told me, I don't want to stay here. I want to keep moving forward. We got an important thing, it's qualify for a final. We have to be there, You have to be there. But we have to rest, enjoy, rest, and then prepare the next week because I'll give my best to get that title because I know how important it is for this club.
Your English is getting better too.
And we'll go Mario, Jonathan, then wrap up with Andre.
Buenas tardes, Jonah. Felicitaciones en clasificar a la final. Just wanted to ask, what were your emotions going into the penalty shootout? What goes through your head at that very moment on the sideline?
Before, when we had the meeting in the end, before starting the penalties, I always try to do the same thing, my protocol, to relax and adjust my emotions to give the best speech to the players and make sure that everyone is connected. And the only thing was analyze what we were doing in the previous weeks in terms of preparation for penalties. We were prepared. We deserved the victory in the game, but no worries, guys, because we are prepared. We trained that in the last few weeks, so we have to do what we know that we have to do. It's just not about shoot and mentality. It's all the protocol that we were creating around the penalties. I think we did a brilliant job. And when you are in an important situation, you have to manage very, very well your emotions. You cannot be, like that, speaking with the players. You need to relax them and be right in the message that you want to give them. And it was a good test today to prove myself also to understand exactly the type of emotion that I have to give to the players because it's not an easy situation. And after scoring and after winning penalty, we have to enjoy it.
Last week you talked about the importance of the fans and them being the 12th player. How important was their support again today with another sellout crowd?
As I told you before, they did an amazing job. Again, they were the player number 12. I think everyone enjoyed a lot the game. I think the feeling here in America when you come back, you feel much better. I don't know why, but they used to feel that when you win games and when you win in the way that we did it. For sure, I prefer to win in other ways, be more relaxed, but in the way that we did it, I think we spread our energy to the supporters, and today the fan base and all what they gave us during the game was brilliant. I have to say thank you, all of them.
We'll go Jonathan and wrap up with Andre.
Hi, Jonah. Congratulations. I can only imagine trying to settle your emotions in a moment like that. I wanted to ask about Hal Hirschfeld and the game that she played today, and just your comments on her performance, growing into the game throughout the game, and also to be such a young player in a big moment like that.
It was a very, very specific week. We were practicing a lot this week, the rotations in best, the 2v1, and she had not very good feelings in the beginning of the week, but she has a big personality, especially when she commits a mistake. She's always, moving forward and thinking in the next, and she's never stayed with the emotions in the past. She's always thinking in the future. It's amazing because when you are young, this type of mentality is not so easy. Usually you can get that when you are getting older, and she's amazing the way that she prepares herself, because she has a big intensity. For her, she needs to adjust, dropping a little bit the motions to play, especially in possession, is something that we are working a lot to improve her. But it's also other area that she's trying to improve. It's not the finishing, it's heading. In situations when other keeper plays long balls, and today she could score. It's not a coincidence. It's everything what she's doing in the training session, in the way that she, how she believes in the training, how she develops her skills in the training, and everything what she's doing. She deserves it, because today she was dancing with an important player inside. It's not easy, the game. I don't know if that expression is good in English. Dancing, we say, when you have to face, 1v1 situation against good players. And attacking and defending, she did an amazing job today.
And Andre, wrap us up.
Thanks for speaking with us, Jonah. Congrats on the win. Wanted to ask you about facing Gotham. They have been one of the most intensely pressing teams that we have seen in this league. And it seemed like after that beginning period in the first half, it was sort of easy to go through them. What kind of allowed that, especially going wide and attacking their fullbacks?
Yes, we know that they always defend with 6 players in the first line, in the middle. But they have a specific behavior, especially the weak winger. Seems like they are just protecting, but it's very difficult to progress when you want to switch, because you have not passes to switch the ball. So you have to make sure in terms of position inside and outside, how you are placed, to make sure that you have a clear situation to have a good build-up and beat them. And we had success. Other times we lost the ball, but it's normal, because the opponent, they have very clear the idea out of possession when they are pressing high. It's very difficult. And we knew it today, especially inside and outside, how we have to attack in terms of positions to occupy, how we have to perform on that. And in general, I'm happy because we create a lot of chances attacking in different areas, in different ways, not just attacking the sidelines, also sometimes inside, in transition, positional attack, set pieces. We did, I think, an amazing job defending and attacking, because for me it's one of the best teams defending, especially when they are defending high.
And last question I have is just about Rose Kawase. Obviously, she wasn't able to play in the first quarterfinal game, but this game she came on, and I think she really introduced herself to Gotham, and they had a hard time dealing with her. So what did she bring, and how did she kind of help you when it comes to game planning for such a difficult defensive matchup?
She did a good game. She provoked an important yellow card in the beginning of the game with Carter. And all the situation that she had in 1v1, she was not running too much today to the space, but when you have not the rhythm, the competitive rhythm, you need to adjust a little better the position and the decision. She commits some mistakes in terms of decision, especially when we are in our half pitch, but in general she did an amazing job. She has the capacity to beat opponents in 1v1. She's not scoring yet. I think she's saving the goals, I hope, for the final, but she helped us a lot to defend and also in attacking, because she has a big capacity to beat opponents in 1v1 situation.
Appreciate it. Thanks, and congrats again.
Thank you, Jonah. Thank you, everyone. We'll
Thank
be
you.
right back with Aubrey Kingsbury and Esme Morgan. Aubrey Kingsbury and Esme Morgan. Jason, go ahead.
Esme, I wanted to start with you. Aubrey Kingsbury, your thoughts?
Oh, that's the question.
My thoughts on Aubrey. Legend, hero, yeah, absolute icon. I think you just thrive in those penalty situations, don't you? She's saved a few of mine in training, which
yeah.
I've got quite frustrated about. But as soon as we went to penalties, I kind of felt this calm wash over me because I know how much all of the people taking them have practiced over the last few weeks and months even, and just repeating the strikes. And I know how brilliant Aubrey is at saving them, so I thought we're in safe hands here.
Aubrey, going not just into penalties, but you also had the stop on Astaire, especially on the breakaway that happened in the first half. What were you seeing to sort of get in the right zone to just make the stops and seemingly as the game went on, it just kept like building and building?
Yeah, especially towards the end, we had a lot of the momentum being a player up. It was more just like we didn't come this far to lose and, doing whatever it takes. And offensively, Hal had an incredible goal. We had some opportunities to win it even at the end there. But yeah, I was motivated to do my part to help the team win and get us to Kansas City.
And Thomas, and we'll go over to Luis.
Aubrey, we heard a good bit in the mix zone about your preparation.
Yeah.
Can you just take us through how you prepare for a shootout like this one?
With our goalkeeper coach, all of us goalkeepers have worked on penalties consistently throughout the year, especially with VAR in the league. It's such an important part of the game. We conceded plenty of penalties in the early days, started by conceding a penalty in 20 seconds into the season, right? So it's just one of those moments of the game that you have to prepare for. So we work on them pretty consistently throughout the season, not just in the postseason. But just got a good read, and I think it's more just the confidence and having the fans behind me. I was really trying to get them into it because I knew that would give us a great advantage for their penalty takers coming up, and trying to make one in front of that wall of fans, like I would be scared. So Hatch started us off with a great one, and I think we just kind of continued with that momentum.
And for both of you, second straight game, scoring an equalizer with your season on the line very late. Just what is it about the makeup of this team that you're able to come up big in those moments?
I just think we never feel that we're out of it. I think even if we were multiple goals down, we'd always have a belief that we could come back. And I think now that we've got so many late winners under our belt, I think even other teams probably feel a little bit on edge towards the end of games, because they know that we're never out of it and we'll always keep fighting to come back. And I think towards the end we built up so much momentum, and the crowd were just amazing in getting behind us, and I think they probably felt quite jittery, and I really just believed as we were getting towards the end of the game that it wasn't done. I think sometimes you can feel in games like the way it's going to go, and I just had this feeling inside that we were going to get one, and then once we did, I thought we might get another one to win it before taking us to extra time. But just amazing.
We'll go to Luis and then Ella.
Hi, Avery. Congratulations for the
Thank
shutout
you.
penalty. How do you stay so focused during the penalty shutout, especially when you stop the first one?
Yeah, it's just trying to stay present. I mean, that's really kind of the focus throughout the entire game. The second that you start thinking you've won or lost, then you're not able to give your best. So it's just kind of taking it one at a time, not let your emotions get too high or too low, but just staying really calm and confident.
Jonah say, before you come, you working a lot in the practice. How important is this practice for your performance in the game?
Very. Going into that, I wasn't nervous at all. It's just like another day at training. I've made those saves many times in our trainings. So I think that helps then prepare me emotionally for those big moments. When the season is on the line, it's just kind of like reverting back to everything that I've continually done all season long.
Thanks both for being here. Hal was really close to a goal last week, the one that went the post at the end. And what did you see on this play? And I guess what was going through your emotions when she
It was
scored this one?
a free kick from McKenna, right?
Yeah.
I think she picked her out about, the top of 6 header?
Yeah, it went over my head, and then it was almost slow motion. I just saw her come from nowhere, and then I just watched it go into the top corner, and it was amazing.
Yeah, we were kind of throwing everything at them, so I feel like we were all up there. But like Esme was saying, we all had this feeling we were going to score. It was just a matter of when, not if. So super proud of her. She's been incredible all season long, so to come through in that big moment was just great.
We'll go Rowie and then Andre.
Hi, congrats to both of you on making the final. First off, I'm just interested in the psychology, especially of a PK and getting into your opponent's head. Aubrey, what's sort of your approach to the dark arts side?
The dark arts. I wouldn't say I do too much of the dark arts, like Emi Martinez, but ironically, I did read a book from our sports psychologist about penalties, but it's kind of more. It was more. It's called Pressure. Blanking on the author, but it was kind of more from the kicker's perspective. But I mean, for me, I just try to move around a little bit. Again, like I'd mentioned, I was really getting the crowd involved because I think the crowd was doing more of the dark arts than I was, just with how loud they were and having to shoot in front of our supporters section. But yeah, if I make the saves, I don't have to worry too much about distracting. So I think for me, it's more of just making sure I'm set, I'm ready as they approach the ball, and so I don't do too much. In those types of mind games. Yeah, I guess
just
that's good enough.
Stands there and they just think,
I appear apparently 10 feet tall, maybe.
And then related to that, Esme, just thinking about just how physical today's matchup was. I want to say Gotham had at least 5 or 6 different yellow cards. Just how active of a tool is that for you, as especially a defender going up against such a strong front line? How much did you see that physicality being a tool that you were able to use almost to the Spirit's advantage?
Yeah, I think coming into the game, we very much had the mindset of wanting to be aggressive and battle physically. And so I kind of carried that in, getting into my duels, particularly with Esther. But I found a lot of the fouls a little bit frustrating because I think it's a physical game, and a lot of the time those duels are just part of it, and it's not necessarily a foul, it's just being physical, using your body well. So I think the momentum of the game was kind of slowed by the number of fouls that were being called. But I mean, different refs see it differently, but I think this league, certainly in comparing it to the English league, everyone's so physical, so fit, so fast, so much less time on the ball, and so I really enjoy the challenge of it, and I feel like it's an element of my game that is developing a lot from being over here.
We'll go Andre and then Jimena.
Congrats on the win, both of you.
Thanks, Andre.
I have to ask, because you were walking up when you got the ball. I thought you were going to take the first penalty, and I was like, oh my God, are we about to have
I didn't want to be in the
situation?
top 5, but no.
I was going to ask, are you in the rotation?
I was number 6, but okay. we didn't get there, so that's all right.
Gotcha. So I really wanted to ask about you. To me, I think you had the quote before the playoffs that kind of summarized what we should expect. You said that in 2021 there was a lot happening, but this team is playing with a lot of love. Is this kind of I know tactics and everything else is important and execution, but is this kind of how this team is able to continue to come from behind to win games?
Yeah, I have similar feelings, honestly, as 21, kind of that felt like destiny, and I would say the same thing. Obviously, we don't have the media circus and all the chaotic energy around us that we did back in 21. But on the flip side, it's all the positive stuff. We're well supported from the owner down to our support staff, everyone in this organization. So yeah, being motivated from a really positive place has created a sustainable team. Back then, it clearly wasn't sustainable because after 21, we kind of tanked. But you've seen us continue to grow all season. This stadium has become a fortress. Our players individually have developed so much. As a team, we've developed so much. And again, there's just this belief. Similarly, as 21, this belief that we're never out of it, that whatever you throw at us, we're going to find a way to win. And yeah, I think although we've been behind both games, we never panicked. We knew it'd come, even in the 92nd minute. And that, yeah, we're excited. We just got one more to go.
And Esme, I have a question for you, because you mentioned last week when the goal was scored, you were a little emotional and you didn't celebrate with anybody. How did you handle this one?
Well, it almost happened again this week, because Hal scored, so I kind of cheered to the fans behind the goal, and then I tried to get the ball, but I was beaten to it. And then I kind of did this big grand loop, and I was starting to run back, and then I was like, oh no, I'm going to join in this time. But there were tears again. I don't know what's come over me recently. I honestly never cried like on the pitch before, but the last 2 games I've just been like so emotional. Again, when you saved that last penalty and we won, like I just started sobbing. The staff were just laughing at me. I was like, I can't help it. It must be, I don't know, all hormonal, it seems.
I appreciate it, and congrats.
Wrap up with Jose.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh my God, we're going to the finals. Everybody was very excited, and Gotham is a very strong team. We especially Aubrey, how was to when with Gonzalez, Esther Gonzalez, she scored. And how was your mentality at the moment?
I was mad I didn't save it. We knew that they're good. They're a great crossing team. Yasmin Ryan had time to kind of pick out Esther, and we know that she likes to kind of stay at the penalty spot. So a little bit of frustration that we didn't have her marked. But again, kind of knew that we would find a way to come back and score, and just knew like, yeah, we had to really step it up from there and just kind of pick up the pace a little bit. I thought maybe we were a little bit slower coming out in the second half, but everyone really stepped it up, and we created a bunch of chances after that.
Lacey Santos, she says that you're a leader in the team, and we saw that. We saw Aubrey, a strong Aubrey, and it was amazing how you, after Esther Gonzalez, she scored, then you still having the mentality, and I remember that you say in previous interviews that we're gonna win this championship. So in my mind was, no, Aubrey should say that we're going to win this championship.
Yeah.
And when you stop Jenna, there was the last who make tried to make a penalty, but you stopped. So how is everybody's considering you as a leader, and how is I believe in you and I believe what you're saying? What do you think is your key to make us think that we're going to win this championship?
Yeah, I have a lot of confidence in this team, and it's not just out of nothing, or it's not for any. Like, I have reasons behind that, and it's because of how we train and compete every day. If you've been with us since day one, since preseason in the pouring rain in Chula Vista, we went all the way out to California to just be rained on the whole time. But from day one, like, this entire organization, players, staff has been bought in, and it's been hard. Like, we don't get many days off. We're exhausted. We had a lot of players away at the Olympics, came back, dealt with a lot of injuries. Andy, Croy, Ule, like, list goes on, but it's just made us better. It's just made us stronger together. More committed, more determined, but then also on the field, like, we're competing every day. Our trainings, more than half the players leave pissed because, we're fouling each other, or, we compete and we keep track of wins and losses and everything. So we have a really hungry, really humble, young team that really wants to just fight for each other. And I think it's out of love for one another, and love for Michelle and the vision of this club, and just a lot of gratitude to be a part of it.
And Esme,
we'll wrap up with Jose.
Sorry, that was long-winded. Gets me emotional.
Thank you. Congrats to both of you.
Thank you, Jose.
Aubrey, in the beginning of the season, when we spoke preseason, you said, last year, you guys gave up a lot of leads, and you wanted to. That was the first thing you wanted to eliminate. Then see if we go to the playoffs. Can you kind of explain how did that maturation throughout the league, the year, to get to this moment?
Yeah.
Where did you feel like you've sensed a change from last year to this year?
Yeah, this year's been entirely different. We've been the ones winning the late minute or the last minute game, scoring the late equalizers rather than conceding. And again, I think it goes back to training. We're always competing. Jonah will lie about the score, so it's even or it's a tie game at the very end. So it's a bloodbath, honestly. But we've consistently trained that mentality, that never say die mentality, that fight to the final whistle, the running in for rebounds. Like, we don't take a second off, and I think that has really come to show itself over the course of the season.
And for both of you, Jonah explained he had to get composed himself to talk to you guys before the extra time and then the PKs. What was those quick chats like, and what did he say for you guys prior to the extra time and the pens just before then to get ready for those moments?
I think extra time ahead of that, it was just kind of giving everyone a moment to get whatever fuel they needed on board, gels, water, just take a moment to just breathe. In fact, I recall him saying that quite a few times. He was like, everyone just breathe, just breathe. So he was just trying to settle us down, ready to go again. And then ahead of penalties, he alluded to the fact that we practiced over and over in recent weeks and that we were just so ready for it. And Orbs promised, as we did our little huddle, she said, I'm going to save some and everyone's going to score. So, in fact, you saved all of them. But, yeah, it was just complete confidence and knowing that we were ready to do whatever we needed to in that moment to make sure we got through. I don't think there was any doubt in any of our minds that we were going to make the championship.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Aubrey and Esme.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hope to see some of y'all in Kansas City.
I'll be there Friday morning.